It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me on another amazing, interesting toy. Amazing Giant is more like it. And before we get rolling, as always, get comfortable, man. Kick back in your lazy boy chair, whatever chair. And if it's morning, grab yourself that steaming cup of coffee, take a sip, clank it, and doesn't that feel good? I'm actually drinking my Zephyr Hills spring water. I don't know what kind of spring is in Zephyr Hills. I hope this isn't like tap water that's described. But anyway, if you're comfortable, caffeinated, snack in hand, and are ready to go, and by the way, lurkers, subscribe. I got to tell you, this camera is dangling precariously because it's elevated and it's just tilted on some napkins to get the best angle of this. I don't have like a rig. I should buy a better rig for my iPhone. But I'm going to make do, and hopefully it doesn't topple over. It's like a house of cards waiting for the slightest breeze to knock it over. And, if it happens, it happens. So anyway, like when I say big, look, this thing is about 17 inches tall, man. So it is a big one. And when she says, I want to see all 17 inches, that's when you pull out your Shigeru giant laser robot. Now, this is a custom piece made by a creator in the Netherlands, and it's based off potentially how would you describe it? Like a concept, maybe, that Shigeru, who was a toy designer, I believe for Osaka Tin Toys or Metal House, maybe something he wanted to do. Maybe it was a sketch. I forgot his last name. I think he was involved with the Changeman robot. But anyway, so this is the interpretation or the realization of that vision. And he made a custom box for it. Could the box have been a little better? Yeah, you could have had like a Hank Ghosties box, perhaps. But hey, you know what? It's a box. And what does it say on the side? I'm not going to mess too much with moving things around because, like I said, this camera is precarious right now. And everything's so big, even if I take the box and try to move it sideways, it probably would hit. I don't have enough clearance to flip this box. Well, I could do it this way, not bring it close. But anyway, automatic action, stop and glow, the gun, stop and glow, stop and go, shooting guns, realistic noise, and yada yada. The graphics are kind of childish, the childish rockets. I always say that you would see like adorning a kid's room, like a toddler maybe, but I guess they work. I would have went with a more retro. I probably, if it was me, and I actually did like, I believe I have a video for the motor robot, the Hemi motor robot that John Riggs created for me. I kind of came up with the wacky sketch and the idea to take a die-cast 426 Hemi from the 60s, which is period correct, though, for these robots. And we stuck it in one of these giant, new, what do you want to call them, continuations of the giant Horikawas. So they made the originals in the 60s, and then they came out with like a reissue. So, those you don't feel as bad butchering up, although now they're all getting old, right? But anyway, on that one, I took elements. Well, to be fair, Hank Ghosties made a robot like that. So I kind of took elements of his box and then elements of other vintage toy box, and I made up my own cool box, but it's more retro. But at any rate, that's neither here nor there. That's the box that was made, and I should have my designer, Marcy. She could have made a cooler box. But anyway, the robot itself is here. Now, it looks like this neck may have been 3D printed with the lines. I don't want to knock this camera over, but it could be a 3D neck. The rest of it looks metal. This mouth could be 3D printed. The ears and these ear caps look to be 3D printed. The body is metal. These arms are metal. The doors here look to be 3D printed. So it's got some 3D, what do you want to call them? I don't know. They're not embellishments. They're not, they're structural, but I don't know like why you would have taken the original pieces out. Well, the ears, I guess, for design. I think even these eyes here are 3D. My guess is maybe just for the color. I don't know exactly the motivation, unless there were some parts missing. Maybe he had the parts and he wanted to finish them up. But he made 10 of these. Let me show you the battery compartment. It's a handsome robot. I may sell this, so if you're interested. So there were 10 of these made, and it runs off 2 AAAs, if you could believe this freaking massive robot. You know, originally it looks like it had 3 or 4 batteries going across like 4 Cs, and it still has the Made in Japan stamped on the door, because these were made in Japan. So anyway, it's like a garage modified hotbot here. And you know what? Does it say it has a light? Maybe I'll try to dim this light and see what happens. And let's turn it on. If I can find the switch. As you can see here, it doesn't look like the doors are retracting, so I guess I should have tested it 2 years ago when I got it. Let's see if we get the doors to close. But now that they're open, you can see the interior of the 3D printed door. Again, I don't know why this is all tin here. I'm surprised that the guns don't have a light. And I don't know why the doors were 3D printed, but let's turn them back on, see if we can retract it. I think the eyes are pretty cool. Well, that's what you get when you do kind of like a homebrew project. It's pretty cool though. Colors are nice. I'd have to look at what I paid for this, but if anyone's interested in this, it may be something that I either auction off, put it on eBay, or maybe I'll give it to an auction company. It is pretty cool and giant and ginormous and very striking colors. So let me know what you think in the comments if this is something that appeals to you. And with that, it is one of only 10. And I think that's about it. So if you like it, please thumb up the video. And as always, I appreciate your time. So with that, thanks again, my friends, and I'll talk to you later.